Hi guys, this is Carl from Monkey Mods. So here to show you this blaster today. This is the Worker Taishan, or Chinese words Taishan, meaning the very huge mountain or something. But anyway, so there really isn't much going on with this blaster, so I'm just going to keep it really short. So this is not the first full CNC blaster from Worker. That was the super expensive full CNC Kunlun. This is the cheaper version. Well, not the same blaster, but this is something like the Seagull. I don't have a Seagull now to compare, but it is, you can see the silhouettes. It is like the Seagull. And then the internal is completely different, but the plunger tube is around the same as the Seagull. Right, so which is to say that the performance is around the Seagull level, but out of the box, this blaster will blow the Seagull out of the water. Right, so let's just go over the blaster exterior. Right, as you can see now, full CNC, except for of course, the grip, the magazine, and the 15 rounds talon, the curved talon or whatever you call it. And then this is actually sort of like a semi-transparent. You can see that this is a new color. I think currently exclusive to this Taishan only. Maybe later on they will make it actually available for purchase individually, which would be sweet because solid color max sort of sucks because you can't really tell what is inside. Right, so and then this is the wood panel. I'm not a wood expert, but I think this is probably a real wood panel, right, on both sides. Beautifully crafted, in my opinion. Right, and then let me see what else. What else that is not, CNC? I think there isn't much. That literally, probably 95 or 99% of this blaster is actually very high quality CNC aluminum stuff. Right, so let's go over the blaster from the top. Alright, so you have, of course, a full Picatinny rail, CNC aluminum, a pair of iron sight. It is the same from the Seagull, the design, but in the matching silver color, and comes with the fiber optic inserts. Right, I personally is not a fan of this iron sight because they are way too short. It's very hard to actually line it up. But yeah, CNC. And then the front cover, of course, CNC as well. Right, it comes with one barrel only. This barrel, if I'm not mistaken, is 34 cm barrel. Right, which you can easily thread in and thread out, just like the Seagull and the Harrier. Right, and then on the body side, it's actually three parts. This front part, which is the handguard, which also houses the super amazing priming piece inside there. Right, the prime is super smooth. It's super smooth. I forgot what is the spring, but the FPS it does is about 200 FPS with the regular Worker darts and 230 FPS with the Worker bamboo darts. So what makes the priming so smooth is, this priming piece inside there is a whole piece of aluminum full of bearings that helps and assists, to make sure the priming piece goes as smooth and as straight as possible. Right, there's a lot of bearing all over the priming piece, which I'm not gonna take off to show you. But down to the aluminium Picatinny rail down here, if you remove it, you will see another 3 more bearing on the priming piece itself. Right, a lot of bearings to make sure that the priming is super smooth, which it is. Right, the priming length is the same as Seagull, which is to say is quite short. Right, but because of the super amazing, super awesome, well designed, well made priming piece, it makes it really easy to prime. Right, and then that's the handguard. Now the upper receiver itself, right, this one piece, is of course fully CNC aluminum, and within house plunger tube, and the internal are all aluminum, are all fully CNC. Maybe some parts are steel, I'm not really sure, but it's all metal stuff inside there. Right, you can see there. Right, and then of course you come to the trigger. One of the biggest difference between the Taishan and the Seagull is the trigger design. The trigger on the Seagull are actually like a sliding style where you push and then the whole thing slides, which is okay, not amazing. On the Taishan, you actually get I forgot what it's called suddenly, but the thing pivot, yeah, I think it's called pivot tilt trigger, I think so. Right, so there's this screw here is actually something like a pin. It keep the trigger in place and then it rotates it. I know, pivot. So this trigger is quite amazing. And then there's a sear, like a bar here, like a seesaw. When you push this, it activates and activates the, pushes the catch up and thereby releasing the piston. Right, so yeah, the trigger is one of the best thing on this plaster. Very, very smooth, very, very solid. Right, and then you have the mag well here, which is the lower part. Right, you can see this is only compatible with the Worker Taishan style magazine, something like this. Also, of course, the good old straight talon. This is the short max, which I think looks really great on this plaster. Right, I have to say this magazine release is one of the things that is welcome. I think this is great. I mean, button style magazine release instead of the pedal style, the AK style. There's nothing wrong with that, but one of the problem I have with this is that, oh yeah, it's ambidextrous. I mean, left and right both can be activated, but you can see the placement, right? I have well, I don't know, small hand, I guess. So you see my I could not reach the button comfortably, so I have to actually move away from my grip to activate it. So it's a cons for me for sure. It's quite disadvantageous. I would much rather to have the pedal style so I can just pull the magazine out very easily instead of changing my grip. So I guess, well, there's one good thing here. You can see on this side, the right side, there's a screw here that keeps the button together, the mechanism together. You can see there. Right, so you can actually pop this screw out and pop this button out, and I guess you can do some sort of like a redesign or like a extended pedal for the magazine, so you can easily just hit it and then it will activate it. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good. Just not my cup of tea on this, on this placement. I have to move my grip. But yeah, enough of that. Now, to the back part. No, before that, the grip. Right, the grip is a whole chunk of CNC aluminum. There's a cover here where you remove. It will expose two screws in within that you can install or remove the grip very easily with the provided Allen key. Right, I think it is quite comfortable, but the trigger guard, this piece, trigger guard, is also fully is a CNC aluminum. I don't really like this piece because it sort of cuts into my hand, particularly this part. I see that they try their best to chamfer all the parts, but still it's metal, and like this part is quite sharp. So when I use it like this, it cuts, it eats into my fingers. So I don't really like it. So if you wear a glove, then you should be fine, right? Then on this part, the back part, the buffer tube is a standard M4 buffer tube where you can use your own M4, any of the M4 style bus stock of your choice. It also houses the mainspring within here. Right? So if you want to do a spring swap or remove the spring, you just use the provided Allen key, just unscrew this cap and the spring will come off. To install, it's the same. It's just quite easy. It's not exactly a QD design, but it is not hard. And this small little cute piece here is, I don't know what you call it, a butt pad, I guess. This is the most uncomfortable thing I've used ever. the first thing that you probably want to swap it out probably is just this thing. I don't really know why Worker, designed this piece. They might as well ship without this thing, so people can just use any other M4 style bus stock of their choice. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think there isn't much, right? Of course, this short slanted grip is actually included as well. So there is that's pretty much it actually. So the performance is as mentioned, 200 FPS out of the box using regular Worker darts, 230 FPS with the Worker bamboo darts. So pretty good, really good performance out of the box. The priming is very smooth, one of the smoothest I've ever tried on the blaster. Right, so would I recommend this blaster? I think it really depends. It's not cheap. I think we priced it at 1,800 ringgit. Definitely not a cheap blaster, but considering what you are getting, like literally almost like 99% aluminium CNC, if the full metal, full CNC is your thing, I really think it is a blaster that worth looking at. If you are in Malaysia, if you are in Klang Valley, do drop by our shop, Monkey Mods, to try out this blaster. I feel like this is a blaster that you need to try it out yourself, right? Feel it, hold it, try and fire it to actually appreciate. Because otherwise, through the video or pictures, as nice as it looks, you probably will feel like, how is this thing so expensive? It doesn't really worth it. But I think you should come and try it out yourself before deciding whether this is a thing for you or not. But there's a few things that I really want to complain though, right? For this price, premium price tag, right? There's so much space, and then it's CNC aluminium, which is very sturdy enough. There's not a single sling mount. I can't believe this. That there's no QDs in the front or at the back here. There's none. And the only choice is using another aftermarket butt stock that has a QD mount or some sort of a sling mount. And then at the front, yeah, you can see there's 2 screw holes here on both sides. I assume this is for you to install a short Picatinny rail like the Seagulls or the Harrier, which surprisingly, it didn't come with this blaster, which is WTF, right? At this price range, Worker couldn't be bothered to provide that 2 very small but useful accessories to go with this blaster. So what? There's no silver color rail available, I'm not even sure whether you can actually purchase the short rail from the Seagull separately. Well, at least we don't sell it. So I am not really sure what the hell is going on here. I don't know, maybe the screw-in Worker sling mount will fit into this. I don't know, I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, what the hell, Worker? But yeah, that's Worker Taishan. Well, this video angle sort of sucks at showing how the blaster actually works. But let me just load a couple of darts and show you the priming action, I guess. Right, so just 3 darts. Right, so just prime it. I don't think that primes it. Yeah, it's not. Right, so let's primes it. Firing. Right, very solid. Right, the air seal is also perfect. Yeah, so the Worker Taishan. So if you, I don't know, leave a comment if you would like to see me using this blaster from another angle, shooting some targets. Let me know in the comment, because otherwise I'm not going to bother doing that, because it's just another good old Springer. It does comes with, I forgot to mention, it comes with the good old Worker P car, the orange color traditional scar. I think they could have just include their bearing, one of their bearing scar, since this price tag. Okay, I think that's good enough for this blaster. Thank you so much for watching into the end. If you have any questions regarding this blaster, if you want to see the internals of it, let me know in the comment sections. Then I will try my best to disassemble it and show you guys the internal of it. Right, and that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.